The complete story of Titanic from beginning to end. On April 10, 1912, the RMS Titanic set sail from Southampton, England on her maiden voyage to New York City with a total of over 200 passengers and crew on board. At the time, Titanic was the largest passenger ship in the world, built with unprecedented luxury, and could be deemed unsinkable for its advanced technology, including watertight compartments that prevented flooding. On board, however, the rich and the poor lived in two entirely separate worlds. It was first class, where a few of the world's heaviest men, John Jacob Astor and his pregnant wife Madeline, and businessman Benjamin Guggenheim, went, and so on. But in third class, hundreds of squalor-stricken immigrants were imagining a new life in America. In between the adventure is a fictional romance between poor artist Jack Dawson, an unemployed immigrant traveling in third class after winning his ticket in a poker game, and wealthy young woman Rose DeWitt Bukater, expressed as Rose's mother. Rose feels trapped in an artificial high society existence and is attracted to Jack, who teaches her the freedom of expression and basic pleasures. Caledon and Rose's mother oppose their relationship and lead to an illicit marriage. On April 14, while sailing through calm Atlantic waters, Captain Edward Smith and the crew received cries of icebergs in sight from lookouts at sea, but they continued along at high speed. The lookouts realized there was a big iceberg ahead of the ship at 11:40 p.m. Trying hard to avoid it, they were too late. The starboard half of the ship was hit with the iceberg, tearing a huge hole below the surface of the water. The captain and crew were obviously clueless as the ship flooded the forward parts of the ship. One big problem was that Titanic only had enough lifeboats to provide for about half the passengers due to outdated maritime legislation that hadn't changed with the size of modern ships. Also, it was slow, chaotic, and ladies were put first, children last in the evacuation. Some very rich men appeared in their finest and refused to panic by saying, "We will die like gentlemen." Some decided to make use of their money, and bought their way on to lifeboats. Caledon tried to pay for his way on to lifeboat. After Caledon tried to separate Jack and Rose, they found themselves fighting for their lives. The ship began to tilt into dangerous danger and people were forced to jump into the freezing ocean. Jack helped Rose onto a floating piece of debris, but he stuck in the water because he promised her he would be there. Titanic sank in the dark ocean at 2:20 a.m. April 15, tearing into two pieces and sinking. More than 500 people were killed and only about 700 people who survived were rescued by the salvage ship Carpathia. Some of the survivors included Rose, who left her old life as a multimillionaire socialite and had a new one, fond of Jack's unfailing love. 10 years later, Titanic was found drifting on the ocean floor, a silent reminder of one of the most terrible maritime tragedies in history.